present in the Jewish circles than any other circles. But Larry Fink, I don't think he's on board.
Shut the fuck up, faggot.
I don't think Larry Fink is on board with that.
Larry Fink was literally saying that they were going to have to force. They were going to force behavior in regards to DEI. That's
but that's what I'm telling you. For example,
Ezra values and it's pro-Jewish values.
No, but Ezra doesn't support that.
Let's just call it Weimar. It's pro-Weimar. That's what it is.
My God, who is this guy? What do you want? What do you want?
Kick this Somali motherfucker.
Come on, Habibi. Stop talking, Habibi.
What is it?
Habibi, Rabi. Habibi, stop talking.
What do you want?
Somali. I don't know why you said kick this.
Habibi, Rabi, how are you?
See, the voracious ethnocentrism, she had to defend her own. White people don't display this to the same degree. Other ethnicities do.
Okay, but what do you say to this? Because you have open borders here, you're going to have open borders there. So I don't think.
Well, why would I care about over there? I only care about.
No, but the Jews care, right? So I don't think all Jews are for open borders. That's like.
Of course they're not. You ask them for open borders with Israel, and they lose their minds.
No, I mean for the U.S. also. Like Larry Fink is for open borders, okay, but other people are not. Like Ben Shapiro, for example, isn't for open borders.
Yeah, but that's controlled opposition. You know. You see, this is right. Okay, listen. There was a whole big discussion about a week or two ago on Joe Rogan. Okay, about pro-Palestine and pro-Israel. Right. On one hand, you have this Goy who's completely bought paid for that flag, which of course is very Jewish, right? And then on the other hand, you have a Jew who's apparently advocating for Palestine. Then you have a moderator who is Joe Rogan, whose wife is Jewish, right? So what you have is the Jews controlling the entire conversation left and right. And what you don't know is where you're really meant to look because they are selectively dishonest, or they're disarming you.
It's only fucking 10 million leprechauns. What the fuck are you complaining about?
Rogan's wife is Jewish?
Yes.
So my issue here is you're opposed to a small country that has 17 million people in it.
Israel doesn't have 17.
Or the 17 million Jews that are on Earth. Anywho.
Well, I think it's more than 30 million.
Is it closer to 30? Well, that's great. I'm happy for you all. But you can't control it.
I'm not a Jew.
You're a Jew.
Let her finish. We can't control what?
So my issue is that you have such opposition towards these people and want to be an ethno-nationalist. No one really cares if you're an ethno-nationalist. You keep it to yourself. My main issue is...
Well, what's the point of being
an
ethno-nationalist?
Well, what's your solution? What's your solution to the JQ? Because those are the words that you seem to understand a lot more.
Solution is what he wants.
Well, you see, the problem...
You want to genocide them?
The solution is that Weimar problems require Weimar solutions.
He wants the final solution. That's another word.
No, actually, there is no such thing as a final solution. Show me the document that talks about the final solution with Hitler's name on it. The actual solution was referred to the Madagascar solution. There was actually a documented plan to send them all to Madagascar. You don't believe me? Go look it up.
What do you know about these?
That they were less than
Your history lesson is not very accurate because I've seen the letters regarding the final solution.
That's amazing.
I've been to a museum and I saw the Nazi teletype.
And huge swaths of the judiciary. How is that possible? No other group of fucking people is able to join a country, be less than 2% of the population, and take such overwhelming control of its institutions.
T-Robs, do you even know how many Jews it took to liberate Israel from the Arabs in the Independence War? Do you know how many Jews sacrificed their lives liberating their homeland?
That's right.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson, I don't think anyone agrees with you here. I don't think you're...
No, I would agree with some things, but not the totality of them. I don't see it as white or black, you know what I mean?
It's truly evil.
That's your Jason Riley.
Focus on yourself.
No, I just don't.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they wake up every day and they're focused on destroying us.
What are you complaining about? You live in an ethno-state.
And that's right.
So are you telling me like the George Soros people are... George Soros, okay, I agree with you. 100%. 100%. But there's a lot of...
So, okay, so do you... Okay, let's say that, like you say you agree with me 100% people like George Soros. Are you telling me that people like Zach, trashbag, who fucks trannies on this app and doesn't get the memo, does his opinion matter?
He almost fucked a tranny. He doesn't fuck trannies plural.
Amazing.
Yeah, but
So
does
it's
that
the people, the ones that matter all believe this stuff. And if they don't believe it, they also act in its interest.
You know what the issue
It
is?
benefits
You don't have enough outward control of your life, and you're afraid because
That's
you don't
really funny.
don't
You know
have-
fucking
let me-
nothing
let me
about me
finish,
whatsoever.
Let me finish, my dear.
That's an amazing
That group wants
projection.
to,
My
You know nothing of
My
me.
dear, my dear.
Let her finish, T-Robs. Let her finish.
PewDiePie, darling, lovely. Okay, you can stop projecting. Okay.
You're projecting,
Somalia
T-Robs.
has no fucking significance in the fucking world except for piracy.
Conor McGregor loves the Jews.
That's
not nice.
Well, it's a fucking fact.
Yeah, it is a fact.
It's an observable fact.
That is kind of-
Somalis have no fuck. What is Somali culture known around the world for? Piracy.
Black Hawk dude.
That's right. Look at the Jews to thank for that. Thanks to the Jewish-controlled media and the Jewish movies, Somalis are known as pirates and Black Hawk Down.
Why do you speak for the Jews? I think you're a secret Jew.
No.
He's a racist.
You know,
You have
I'm
a
a
problem.
race realist.
Only cry and cry
I'm
about
a race
everybody.
realist. Everybody wants to live where white people are. That's a fact.
I mean,
Let's go
that-
to Africa.
I actually don't.
my only issue with what you're saying
Hey,
is that
why doesn't everyone go to Somalia? Go to
I'm
Somalia.
actually
Are you a
going to
Mogadishu
because
motherfucker?
we're happy where we are.
Go
I
to
am-
Why
Mogadishu.
don't you go to Somalia?
I will.
Because I live in a beautiful place where it's
Me
a fucking,
too. I
it's
live
a
in beautiful
99% white. 99.
I don't think
Oh,
New York is
look at you,
beautiful,
look at
Tim.
you.
It is lucky me. Everybody wants to live.
And I
where
don't
Yeah,
live,
New York's
it's
a
not all
shithole.
white here and I'm happy here.
New York's a
I
shithole.
plan to move
New York
back
is
to
a shithole.
I plan to move back to my ethno state for sure. So I have a
That's not it's our gang. The worst
Yeah,
thing what can happen
my
is that-
Somali husband who's in the UK. We are going to bring back our culture to Somalia and go back. And
I have what the Jews could only dream.
Yeah, but ethno states are horrible, whether it be Israel.
Well, that's your.
He's got only what the Jews could dream of.
That's your opinion, not mine. I never made that statement.
Why can't I get Rick up? I can't get you up, man.
Look, I think that the world, it should actually be diverse. And the only way for it to maintain the diversity is that white people continue to have a homeland. And otherwise, we'll all just end up a different variety of brown.
what is the homeland?
White people are the most diverse people on the planet.
Do you mean Europe?
Multitude of eye colors, hair colors,
I do.
skin
Do you mean
complexions. Black people are all just different variations of brown.
Do you mean Europe?
Ah,
Do you mean Europe?
but dude, there's the
Where else are white people from?
Well, I'm saying I agree with that completely. I think you guys should stop your interventions and
There's no such thing as white people. There's just not a thing called white
That's
people.
right, Jew.
It's
Okay,
a
Jew.
word. You're making it up. There's no such thing as black people. You're so ridiculous, T-Robs. Get a life and stop sleeping with your dog.
no, I agree with him actually. I think Europe should stay for white people. I think it would
That's right.
have stayed that way if you guys did not interfere so much with global politics.
But okay. Let's say I agree with you.
I would have been.
No, okay, let's say I agree with you for a moment,
ethnic
okay?
state next to an ocean, eating fish freshly picked from the ocean.
Okay, let's say I
Freshly picked fish from the ocean.
Okay, amazing. I'm talking to you. What is the problem with that? The problem is that every war is a bankers' war, and when we say bankers, we mean Jews. Okay, so every war is, for the most part, it's been caused by Jews. That's the problem.
Jews. He's the Jewish whisperer. The guy's got Jews on his brain 7 days a week, every third sentence. He's delusional. He's got a mental health disorder. He's Jewish derangement
Name
syndrome.
every major conflict since 9/11.
Every major conflict since 9/11.
Well, see, that's the thing. I would agree with you that the Jews played a major role in these wars, but I would say that they started.
They played a major war.
But I don't think it's 100%. They played a major role.
But I don't think they started it. Okay, let's debate for example.
Do you hate the Saudi Arabians and their ethno state of Arabs?
In the instigation or the benefiting of war throughout history.
Sorry.
I'm not Jewish and I bought Northrop Grumman this morning.
What did you buy?
I'm not Jewish. I just created a leprechaun comedy show this morning.
Alice disappeared. Imagine if we had a world where we weren't provoking the wars or we weren't tricked into wars.
Yeah, but we will
What a world that would be. So boring.
weekend with this defense department. They're
Dude,
going
the ADL
to try to make some Norfolk from
Are you
it.
assuming that without Jews we won't have wars?
to the same degree that we do, yes.
It's only a matter of time before the
It
Jews.
is not the natural state of people. People, the populace, that's why we always have to be tricked into wars. This is where the media owned by the Jews is complicit, right? People don't like wars. For example, in Britain,
Smedley Butler.
Americans,
War is a racket.
We had amazing.
Destroy all the terror attacks by Muslim. Exactly.
We had a 1 million man march in London to protest prior to the invasion of Iraq. The people did not want it. But guess what? The fucking Jewish
Tony Blair, he's Jewish.
They went ahead with it anyway, in spite of what the population wanted.
Benjamin Netanyahu, he's Jewish.
Okay.
In a population
Okay, fine. I will grant that.
1 in 60 people in the country went to the capital in London and they stood on their feet and they marched. There was over 1 million man march. Read about it in the newspapers.
They needed to deport them
And those
all.
are just the people-
Traitors.
That's not the people. I never went, and but the point is, people don't typically or instinctively want war. They have to be tricked into it.
But I
This is
think
why-
the
this is why there are false
My
flag
God.
events.
I think the
False flag
English
events, and this is why there's complete manipulation of the media.
Okay. I think the English went to the Iraq War not because of the Jews, but because of the Americans. The
Okay, why did the Americans go?
Okay, the Americans.
It's the Jews. The Jews are at the bottom of everything.
The British is a byproduct of the Americans. I agree. Okay, but so let's look at it. Why did the Americans go to the Iraq?
Don't drink your water anymore,
I
T-Robs.
can't deny that there's a very clear Jewish.
Yeah, it's the neocons. Who are the neocons? They're all fucking Jews.
George W. Bush is
Yeah, but
Jewish.
So that's the Iraq War. I
Who
would agree with
benefited? Did the United States benefit?
Man,
Dick
that's
Cheney is Jewish.
All the major wars since 2001 have been in the region.
So, but what about the
Israel?
Egyptian revolution? What about, for example, the Syria war? You can say, I mean, I don't think they started it. They played the role, and then sure, with the whole.
Since the withdrawal of Afghanistan, did Israel
What
just
about
not take?
Libya?
Did Israel not just take land from Syria?
Now, yeah.
Even
Yeah,
if you're
so
correct,
they-
T-Robs.
They have been. It has been a miracle that Assad has held them off this long, but that's what they have been wanting. They've wanted U.S.-backed forces to be able to go and clear this, so that they can then.
She's got a little gas and indigestion.
I get that.
Okay.
But what about Libya?
So they've been trying to. They've been trying to get to what they've got.
But what about Libya, though?
You're boring us, T-Robs. We've heard it all before.
I don't understand the Libyan conflict. This is what I think.
All I'm trying to tell you is that
This
yes,
is what I
they do
know.
seem
This
to
is
play
what
a
I know.
major role in many
I
wars,
understand
but I
it,
don't
but
think
this
they
is what I
play the
do know.
totality of it. I don't think they
The
play
words-
the totality of it.
The word of the name country, Libya left Netanyahu's mouth, and that means that he wanted it.
So, T-Robs, what kind of
I
hobbies
don't-
do you
I don't
have?
claim to understand, to know.
Okay, we understood that, but I'm.
I've heard Netanyahu talking about the benefits of taking Libya.
Let's keep
I
going.
first saw the clip. I don't need to know anymore.
He's on Irish cocaine imported from Israel.
It probably hurts the Americans as much the Jews, because Gaddafi wanted the central fucking African dollar, essentially. He wanted to create his own currency, just like every other fucking.
He wanted a lot of things.
Every other leader.
He wanted a gold standard to compete with the Federal
Every other
Reserve.
country and every other leader that has tried to remove themselves from the international Jewish banking fucking system has had their fucking either country overthrown or they've been killed.
You know, George Bush and Donald Rumsfeld, they're Irish.
So, for example, I would agree with that. Like,
That's right.
banking, and if you're not in that to any central bank or whatever.
And that's right. That's what did Gaddafi want.
Gaddafi wanted to be off of that.
Obviously, he wanted a
But
utopia.
that's
What we're told about Gaddafi is it's a web of lies. I had to learn about this. Gaddafi was actually
You had to?
in ways to his people.
You had to? You had to learn about
Yeah,
this?
he was a madman and blah blah blah.
You're such a
No, but he
fucking
was-
historian. It's
he was-
impressive.
Everyone's a fucking madman.
No, but he
Gaddafi's bodyguard
wasn't
has
right.
complete
See, he's a
Listen,
madman because he would stand in front
Dude,
of
how about
he
you
would
listen to
stand
this,
in front of the
Oh my
UN.
God! Just keep going. You can't take a breath. You cannot take a breath. Randolph.
Gaddafi would stand.
Try to take a breath, Dr.
and he would
T-Robs.
name the Jews.
He just
He
keeps
would-
going.
Let me finish this. Gaddafi would stand in front of the UN and he would name the
Oh my
Jews.
God.
He literally said he would talk about the Jews assassinated fucking JFK
Oh my God, this nigga
over the
doesn't
Dimona nuclear power plant, and how that fucking Jack Rubenstein said he did it for his people. He said this in front of the UN.
Okay.
Did you have to learn this? That's impressive history. I never heard this.
Gaddafi, if you listen to his speeches, the guy is clearly like not there.
Probably.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. He had great style and a lot of women. He's very rich.
Right. Also, he had a lot of enemies, and it's not just because. See, that's what I'm telling you. It's not just Jews. The guy was a socialist. The guy was he was centralizing everything. Everything was hyper centralized under him, and all the wealth was hyper centralized under him, and so not many people. A lot of people didn't like him. Some people did.
It's like T-Rob. Some people love him, some people hate him, but most people hate him.
I'll never forget that. Gaddafi.
Who said that?
There's like a thing where they basically made like energy free. Gasoline was so cheap it was basically free.
It's like water coming out of the ground.
Money on the birth of their children. Sure, you could say that. And I'm not saying it's perfect. I don't believe there is a perfect system. But in comparison to what came before, it appears like from what I have read, it's not what I was told, but from what I've read.
He had to learn this. He had to study this and research.
Do you believe that's a true statement, Robbie?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, there we go.
Statement, and I do believe Iraq was better than it is today.
That's right.
Okay, but Saddam is the same story. Like people used to come to Iraq to work. The Iraqis don't go out to work. Iraq had very cheap oil, cheaper than water, etc., etc. So they even gave Jordan, they gave us oil for free, by the way. So they had all sorts of things going on there. There was a lot of security, but there was no freedom. And, there's a trade-off there. So a lot of Iraqis didn't like Saddam.
In Libya, a home is considered a natural human right. In Gaddafi's Green Book, it states, the house is a basic need of both the individual and the family. Therefore, it should not be owned by others. He made being a landlord illegal. Of course, the Jews would hate that. Education and medical treatment were all free. I'm not saying it was good, but
the Jews hate landlords.
Gaddafi, well, they love interest in being landlords. The top 10, the worst
You mean people like making a profit?
Landlords in New York are all Jews. Gaddafi carried the world's largest irrigation project. The largest irrigation system in the world, also known as the Green Man-Made River, was designed to make water readily available to all Libyans across the entire country. It was
It's a beautiful thing.
If any Libyan wanted to start a farm, they were given a house, farm, and livestock, and seeds, all free of charge. A bursary was given to mothers with newborn babies.
They gave them seeds? That's impressive. Why doesn't the government of Ireland do the same for their own people?
Cheap petrol. During Gaddafi's reign, the price of petrol or gas in Libya was as low as 14 cents per litre.
Boom! Somebody boomed the room. Someone boom the room. Someone boom. Someone boom the room. Someone boom the room. Was it me? Was it you? Does it matter? All that matters is that there was a boom. Someone boom the room. T-Robs must be on Adderall. There's no way somebody in the evening is sitting there reading from Wikipedia about Libya. But the reason why I boom the room is I don't want to spend my morning like this getting programmed with T-Rob stupidity. It's just a waste of my time. It's a waste of everybody's time. So this is Doge Maga's house, and someone boomed the room. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I never read a book in my life, but I'm about to start new.